Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and we're back again today with our next episode in the Buffalo Nickel Nic-A-Date series, and we've got, like before, 2 more rolls of coins to get through, so none of these have dates. Some of them have mint marks, not all of them, but we're trying to fill out these folders, and obviously targeting some of the earlier stuff. It would be huge if we got a 1913 S in any capability, but there's also a lot of low mintage stuff that we're still trying to uncover by removing the surface of the date, so you can see what happens to the coins. They're definitely damaged. The acid wears away the date, but you can kind of unveil some dates that are pretty tough to get outside of that. So yeah, 21S, 24S, these are some of the kind of critical coins, 26S in the series. Then interestingly, I also have been kind of looking at the breakdown of dates. So 89 of the 120 that we've done so far are from the teens, 24 from the 20s, and then there are 7 that had no dates. I couldn't reveal them. But anyways, let's get started. I'm going to separate these out by mint marks, show you if there's any coins that are specifically interesting right off the bat, and then I'll Nic-A-Date one coin as a sample just to show you how it's done. So now they're all sorted. We've got these, they're all the P mint marks, but we have an ample amount of Denver mints and S mint marks. These S are really the ones that I'm going to be looking to check out. Now there are some interesting facts that I want to talk about here. So there were 2 of these. We've already got them in our collection, but that raised date, there's one with a Denver mint mark. That's where we're going to be looking for mint marks, and then one without. But this is what a normal coin looks like, but in 1913 they had these raised backs. They realized how quickly the coins were wearing down, so that's why they changed them to here with the recessed date instead of the raised ground. But this is a cool way. Even though there's no date, you immediately know what the actual year is. So I'm happy that we got those, but also again, I did want to set a goal, so I think that it would be great if we could get 4 coins. I'd also be, 4 new coins for the folder. I'd also be happy if we could get something from 1930 or later, because so far those 1929s are the newest coins that we've got. Definitely not too often that you're looking for the newer ones, but would just be kind of fun to see some that wore down pretty late. And a quick note, I'm going to be applying the nickel restorer on the backs of these 2 coins because there's mint marks, but I really can't tell which one there is. But first I'll do a larger drop right on the surface of the coin, let it sit for about like 2-ish minutes, and then just some tiny little droplets along the date. Again, this pretty much ruins coins, but I was able to get it for such a cheap dollar amount that it made this whole series worth it. I'm spending about $40, though next episode will be a eBay roll of all mint mark nickels. So there are the coins. I think I can see a mint mark on this one for sure, and it looks like it's got an S mint mark. That's definitely not a Denver one. On this coin, this was just a Philadelphia mint plain one. Definitely a 1919 is showing through, and again, you can see how that acid leaves an unattractive residue on the coin, but it kind of is what it is in that case. I could be using a little bit less, but I'm not that concerned. It's more just for the folder filling exercise. This one, I think that definitely looks like a D mint mark, but I'm not totally sure. I don't think that I can see an S right there. I think that mint mark's definitely a D. So we've got a lot to cover. I'm going to start by going through with, I think, 20 of the P mints. Then we'll do some mint mark ones, hoping for a better or key date type of coin. And there they are, coming along pretty nice. One thing of note though is the only ones that would add to our folder are from 1930 and on. We found pretty much every date. Actually, that's not true. I see a 1926, so that would be a good date to find as well. But we're more just doing this for the distribution. Also shows though, if you're just doing like a year set, that the Nic-A-Date strategy can do pretty well for getting you these coins for cheap. Here's the coins. We actually did super good. So we started out, there were 2 1913s, which are a bit tougher to come by, and in the past we've had trouble getting them, but we got a few there. One 1914, 3 1915s, and you can see on these dates that they're pretty clear. 4 17s, 2 19s, a 20, a 23, 225s. Then we had 3 that we're going to redate at the end of the video, though it could be some 1913s in there. And then there's also this coin, which is a 1926, I believe. Let me try to shine some light on it. It's a challenging one to see, but I'm pretty positive that we did in fact get a 26 there. So happy with a first folder filler. And as these 6 D-Mint coins are under the Nic-A-Date process, the removal process, we've got a 1914 to fill out, as well as a 25, 26, 28, and then any from the 30s. So some pretty neat finds, but nothing super wild, though there's one that I have a question on. That one is a 1917, another 1917. That one, I forget what I decided. I think it's a 1920. That one, definitely 1921, 1915D, so that's the oldest. This one I'm not so sure on. I'll definitely add that to the Nic-A-Date group, but I think it might be a 1918. If it's a 28, though, that would be a new coin, the 28D, so I'm kind of curious on, redoing that one to see if we can't get a result. Similar deal here. These are 4 of the S-mints. Those are all still mint marks. Those are the Philadelphia, which will be after this, but we've got the 13S, 14S, 15S, 17S, 21S, 24S, and then a bunch of the later ones. So there's definitely a lot of room to get some new dates here, which would be awesome. And we actually got a semi-key date among some other folder finds. So I'll just show you 1916, one of the most made coins, as is the 1919S, but check that out, 1917S, 4.2 million, but that's not as low mintage as this coin, which is a 1914S, and I want to try to get the light on it so that you can see, but there are only 3.5 million of these made, and you can clearly see that it's 1914, so really excited to add this one as another find for the hunt. Another 20 done, and the only main thing that I noticed is that there was this 1913. I guess also we had 2 1929s, so pretty much not confirming, but that seems to be pretty much the upper limit in terms of when coins were made that have no dates, that were in circulation enough or they wore off. So that's what we've got there. There's another 2 that we're going to re-Nic-A-Date, but I'm pretty much assuming that there are not going to be any new dates there. And we got 15 dated coins. 2 of those were 1913, but they're all, pretty rough shape due to the Nic-A-Dating, especially on that date. We also had 5 coins where we really made a good effort and didn't end up finding anything. My guess is I might actually just spend these in pocket change and, get some people interested in coin collecting, something like that. But we've got 7 D-Mint mark coins, which we're going to do right now, and then after that, we'll wrap up the hunt with 5 S-mints. So here we've got the 7 coins, but this one is a 1913, or it might be 1915. I'm not going to count it as either one, or I'll probably count it as 1915D, just because that's not quite as rare of a coin. But then we've got the 1916D. We got 3 of those. Just a reminder, 1916 was one of the most minted years. We also had 2 from 1919, and then 1 from 1927. That's one of the only later dates that we already got the D-Mint mark from. But either way, a few lower mintage coins. That 1927 is a 5.7 million one. And the 15D is 7.6. So I'll look forward to this before we get to a wrap-up. What I'm going to do is show you the completed folder, or as much of it as we've gotten, and then go to a PowerPoint where I'll just go over some of the statistics from the hunts. And we did great on this part of the hunt because we have a 1916, 1916, 1923 in the middle, and then over there I think that's 18. But check that out, 1921, and it's a really solid-looking coin. The Liberty is kind of intact, and the date is just showing through super strong, and it's not the traditional acid date, so that probably pays for today's hunt. It's probably like a $12 coin, even in the condition it's in with the acid date restoration. You might be able to sell it for that. The S-Mint mark is super clear and solid on the back, so I'm pumped about that find. And that's going to be our 4th folder filler. I'll just bring it over here. It's also the lowest mintage that I've ever Nic-A-Dated. So 1921S, 1.6 million. I'm just looking around for the other ones that are lower than it. That would be 1913S, 1915S by just a hair. Maybe, 1924S and the 1926S. So I think that we have the 5th lowest minted coin. I would consider that one to be a key date in this situation. So super pumped, and like I said, I promised the full wrap-up, so we've got these 80 coins. I'm also going to be going to a chart where we've got literally everything, but before that, I'll actually just kind of take you through it briefly here. And we really did well in our 200 coins are 5 rolls, but just to review over here, only 4 coins missing on this page, and then only 7 on this side, only 5 from before 1925 that we did not have. Those were just some super hard to get low mintage coins, so I bet that we could find the acid dated ones for relatively cheap. Definitely we did not get too many of these, only again 35 in total. But after 1924, they were really far and few in between, in the sense that the Nic-A-Date, the dates that wore off really just are not the 1925 and later coins. It's very challenging to find these ones. But like I said, we're going to go to a wrap-up. Before that, though, I will make a commitment to buy a roll. Hopefully I might do S-Mint coins, but I might also just do mint marked coins. Then I'm also going to be unboxing just a regular unsearched one, so that we can kind of fill out some of the stuff on this side. And some awesome news. So this one looks like a pretty beat up nickel, but I realized it's a second 1921S. So that's 2 1921S's. This one definitely in worse condition, but that's 2 key dates, plus there were some other for sure semi keys like the 14S. So really happy about that. And it shows, it pays to check over the coins. And here are the results from our Nic-A-Date experiment kind of typed out on the page. And yeah, I know I went over this a little bit, but it was 147, so just about 75% of the coins were from that 1913 to 1919. We saw 39 from the 20s, but 0 from the 30s, and there were 14 that we could not identify properly. There was a real sharp drop-off after 1923, so obviously the more worn ones probably going to be earlier, but I didn't realize just how much earlier they would be, and I didn't include partial dates. I think you do see a lot of the partials kind of coming in from those 20s. 1916 was by far the most found date at 38 out of 200. Makes sense, the mintages were quite elevated that year, but that's 19%, and an additional 25% or 12.5% each were from 1917 and 1919. And these also include mint marks. 1916 dominated some of the mint mark categories. We did not find the 1913S Type 1 or Type 2 raised back or non-raised back. That's kind of the best coin in the series, but by most price guides, 21S probably the best to find, and we did get that. And again, like you saw moments earlier, we didn't have every coin, but some of the better date finds, we had some 1913D Type 1 coins, one 1913D Type 2, 1914S, 1917S, and 2 1921S's that are both in decent shape. So yeah, definitely a good deal for $40 total. I think the coins are definitely now going to be cull. They don't sell very well, but it's a fun experiment to do. And like I said, I think that I'm going to try to get some just an all mint mark roll and see what could happen in that, maybe find some more cool coins. And then I'd also like to see if there's a no date V nickel roll out there somewhere, just true cull coins, because I think that it should work on the V nickel. I tried that and found an 1883 in the past. So looking forward to that, and I'll see you on the next Nic-A-Date video or some of my other videos. It'll be a while before I get to that mint mark roll. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me or contact on treasuretown.yt.com, my website, my Facebook, TreasureTown, my Twitter, at treasuretown_YT, or my Instagram, at treasuretown_YT. Looking forward to seeing you on some of my other videos.